The movie starts at an elite private school where we meet a nutrition teacher named Miss Novak. She was hired to promote healthy eating among students. Her club has a few members, and she asks them why they joined. Helen wants to protect the environment and reduce global warming. Ragna wants to reduce body fat for sports. Elsa wants to develop discipline. Fred wants to stay healthy because of his diabetes. Ben just wants to earn a score for his scholarship. Miss Novak thanks them for joining and explains conscious eating, which is about eating less without feeling hungry. She says the human body needs less food than people think and talks about the benefits of eating less. She then teaches them a breathing exercise to help appreciate food and eat mindfully. The students practice and feel a change in their mood and appetite. After the session, Miss Novak meets the principal, who welcomes her warmly and assigns her the task of improving children's eating habits. Miss Novak assures the principal that the kids are in safe hands with her. At Ragna's home, she eats with her parents. Her mother tells her to watch her weight, which offends Ragna, but her father explains her mother didn't mean it badly. Ragna shows them the breathing exercise she learned. Elsa's dad scolds her for not eating, but she says she's practicing conscious eating. Her mom secretly gives her food to a dog. After a few bites, Elsa vomits in the bathroom. Her mom sees this but says nothing. At school, Fred eats lunch alone when Miss Novak invites him to her office, where they practice mental exercises to eat mindfully. Fred later tells the club he's been eating less and feels more energetic, reducing his insulin dose. Miss Novak is pleased and explains autophagy, a process where the body uses its own cells for energy, which she says can heal diseases and extend life. Elsa and Miss Novak walk together, and Elsa wishes she didn't have to eat, but her father forces her. Miss Novak explains society doesn't accept non-eaters because it scares people. Most don't realize they don't need regular food to survive. Helen, Elsa, and Ragna eat lunch together, but Ragna can't control herself and eats more, feeling guilty afterward. Her friends scold her, and she apologizes. Ragna tells Miss Novak, who reassures her and gives her herbal tea to suppress her appetite. Fred misses his parents and asks to visit them, but they refuse, telling him to finish school first. Upset, Fred goes to Miss Novak, who comforts him. The next day, Miss Novak tells the principal that everyone is doing well, except Ben, who is disobedient. The principal explains Ben's difficult situation but warns he might lose his scholarship. Miss Novak tells Ben to eat more consciously, promising it won't affect his studies. Ben worries about disappointing his hardworking mother but promises to change his eating habits after Miss Novak's encouragement. Ben's mom prepares a steak for him, and he hesitates to eat. She suggests he might go to another school instead, but Ben insists eating less is good for him. His mom asks him not to push himself too hard. Miss Novak tells Ragna and Elsa about Club Zero, a secret group of people who don't eat. The girls are excited and want to join. Fred and Miss Novak go to an opera theater and seem to like each other. In the next session, Miss Novak advises the group to stop eating completely, and they chant a strange verse. The students stop eating and use excuses to avoid food, worrying their parents. Ben's mom complains, but the principal defends Miss Novak. Ben tries to wake up Fred, who is unconscious. Fred is taken to the hospital, and it's revealed he stopped taking his insulin. His father asks the principal to watch over Fred, who has become very thin. The dance teacher informs the principal about Miss Novak dating Fred, and the staff decides to expel her. Miss Novak is dismissed and leaves angrily. She talks to her shrine and expresses her frustration, but decides not to give up. Miss Novak asks Fred if he trusts her, and he says yes, so she kisses him. Elsa's father forces her to eat, and she vomits it up. Ben and Ragna refuse to eat at home. Elsa tells her parents she can survive on willpower alone. When they insist, she eats but vomits everything and eats it again, shocking her parents. The parents meet to discuss the situation and consider calling Miss Novak. Ben's mom objects, but the others worry their children will die if they don't start eating. They drop their kids off at Miss Novak's home. Fred, Ben, Ragna, and Elsa are weak but feel powerful. Miss Novak tells them they are ready to join Club Zero and live an eternal life. Fred and Ben eat happily at Ben's home, and Ragna and Elsa eat with their parents. The next morning, the parents find their children missing and a letter explaining they are in a better place. Miss Novak leads the four to a meadow for a ritual. In the final scene, the parents meet at the school and ask Helen what happened. Helen defends Miss Novak and says the parents will perish. She looks at the camera and declares that they need faith to be saved.